Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. It's the TEAL 1. I think it was about 2 years ago. I went ahead and did a kind of a visit to their hometown, and I was able to kind of preview the TEAL. This is going to be like the smart drone where it's got, you know, some of those automated smart functions, kind of like some of the newer, more advanced drones have. So let's go ahead and give the TEAL 1 a thorough unboxing, see what we get in the box, all these parts, see how it all goes together. We have to download an application and we can get up on the screen. We're going to see how all that looks. And then in the next reviews, we're going to do a flight test and also range testing and some cinematic videos, kind of like I normally do on all my drones. Let's break it open and see what we get. So what we'll start with is just opening some boxes up. It looks like we got some swag here from the TEAL company. Looks like a pretty nice hat. We got the TEAL logo here. So cool. Thanks, George. I think George sent me this kit personally. George Matus, he is basically the owner of TEAL Drones. Looks like we have a little mug as well. Cool. New coffee mug. Might have to sport that in some of my videos. Really hoping this drone can, you know, do decent. It's supposed to have a Nvidia main board in it. Let's take this little seal off and open this thing up and see what we get. Wow, nice. So pretty nicely done. There it is, guys. It's the new TEAL 1. So we'll pull this out of the box, see what else we get in the box, and then we'll open all this other stuff up. So we have this kind of top cover. We got some foam guarding everything. Cool. So they're going with collapsible propellers. Look at this. So these propellers are collapsing. They're three-bladed, collapsible three-bladed. Very unique. You don't see those kinds of propellers. I've never seen them anywhere as far as a three-bladed collapsing. And they're not like super loose and flapping around. Looks like they're quality, kind of like what DJI does, where they have a little bit of resistance so they're not flopping around like really toy propellers. So we have, of course, 4 of those, actually more, and then 2 extras in the box. US power cable. We've got a battery, a little instruction booklet here with some stickers, some TEAL stickers, and a cool micro SD card. So that's a 16 gig. So that's great that TEAL went ahead and spent a couple bucks and really just gave you what you needed to do to get started recording some video. So good on you, TEAL, for doing that. There is an initial TEAL battery. Of course, I got 2 more with my setup that George sent me. What else we got here? We have another cable, actually another charger. So it looks like I got the possibly car charging kit, and then this is the home charging kit. There's kind of a proprietary type of connector there. Charging brick. And that's pretty much all there is in the box, guys. I'm going to set this box to the side and let's take a closer look at the TEAL 1. It does look like they're quick release propellers. I'm seeing springs in there. There's no specs on the motors, but I'll have the website linked in the description down below so you can check out all the specs and read all that stuff if you'd like to. And in the center, we do have the memory card slot port there. We're gonna put in the memory card for onboard recording. On the little sticker, it does say SD card slot and developer ports. So the cool thing about this one is it's kind of an open source development platform. So if you wanted to create apps for it and improve it in any which way, you can go ahead and do that. There's the bottom. And check this out. We do have some sonic sensors. This is cool. So 2 sonic sensors. Not seeing any optical flow. The front facing camera. I think this is going to be kind of like what Parrot did, is they have a electronic stabilization camera here. So there's no mechanical stabilization, it doesn't look like. Although, check this out. It is dampened in there. I don't want to touch it with my finger, but we'll touch it with the candy cane pen. Check this out. So it's kind of dampened in there. It's on its own little physical shock absorbent pad. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is moving around in there, dampening. And it also should have electronic stabilization. So you're getting at least some physical stabilization as well, although it's not like a 3-axis gimbal or anything. Here are the arms and the feet. So some rubber here, soft rubber. And these are the arms that can remove. Remember, they just snap in. So you have 2 star screws here for each arm if you break one, or you can also pull them out and put them in to exchange motors as well. If you want a more powerful motors, I think they can do that, or more efficient for more efficient flying. The way they kind of differentiated the clockwise and counterclockwise on these motors is this one is a counterclockwise, and you see how it has a silver top there. And this one here is going to be the clockwise, and you can see how it has a black top. So TEAL chose to have something a little bit different. This is interesting. This is kind of like a push, release, ball fitting, and spring type of deal. So when we push down in, we want to make sure that we push this to release these little bearing balls here. And so they allow us to push down. So I'm going to push down on it, and I'm pushing down on the top and kind of twisting. And what they're going to do is they're going to fall in their notch. And I just felt this black thing kind of pop up. That thing's definitely not coming off. I can't say the same for if maybe it flipped over and this got pushed. Yeah, so I could possibly see maybe something happening like that. But of course, if it flipped over and landed, you're going to want to go get it. You can see on the bottom of the propellers how there's those little notches. And those notches are going to go into the corresponding notches on the motor itself. So pretty neat. Different, little bit different system than other drones. And of course, the way the battery is inserting is we just take the battery like this. We looks like push it down like this. It kind of falls into these little notches here. Then we go ahead and we just slide it and push it up. And that actually turned it on. Wow, did you hear that? So I heard some beeping. I heard a fan turn on. And it sounds like it's all booting up. Wow, look at that. That's a cool color LED. We got green, we got teal, we got white. You can see that LED there is pretty cool, how it's just going kind of back and forth. Let's see if possibly we can turn it off from this button. It didn't seem like it. Pressing, holding. Of course I haven't even, yeah. So you can turn it off and on from this button too. That shows the battery power. Let's try that one more time. If we just press it a single time, we just get the battery charge indication. Press and hold. There we go. Okay, so pressing and holding is all you need to do to turn this thing on. I do feel some air coming out of here. So it's got like a fan that's actually moving some air out the lid. So pretty interesting design. You can see how there's these two air vents here coming out the back, and I can actually feel air being blown out that way. So pretty cool, guys. Just a very simple design. Of course, we're going to want to see how it performs with just these sonic sensors on the bottom, since there is no optical flow. This does have that Nvidia chip in it, that high-powered Nvidia chip, so we're going to see how that performs in some of the smart functions. So basically, I got 3 batteries. Here's one of the extra batteries. I got one that came with it, and then I got 2 extra ones they were kind enough to send me. So let's just pull open one. Geez, just ripping open this packaging by accident. Butterfingers here. There we go. So there's a brand new battery. They look like they're pretty much all the same. There's our power readout again, just by pressing that button. And then of course, remember, press and hold turns it off and on. And by the way, we didn't really check out what this thing has as far as the specs. So this is a 4S battery, and it's a 2750 milliamp hour battery here, and that's what they chose to use in the TEAL one. So I got a full set of extra arms, and remember, these are the ones, they're kind of modular. And this is actually pretty a cool kind of way of doing this, because you don't have to like unscrew a motor and solder and everything. Check this out. They even give you the tools in the box. We have that star wrench you're going to need right here tucked away. Nice and easy, star on both ends. And we have actually the screws here. If you do miss some screws or lose some screws or strip your screws, they do give you the 2 screws they need. Great packaging, by the way. Good job, TEAL, because you really stepped it up a notch to make it really professional looking. And it's everything already mounted up. It's got the kind of the slide and lock mechanism already mounted on the motor. It's got the whole arm here, and you can see how these things are just going to be kind of plugging in. You see how it's just a 3-port connection that slides in. Once you take off one of the arms, you slide this one in, and it's just 2 screws, and you're golden. You're ready to go again. So if you break an arm or if you just damage a motor, that's how you swap them out. And of course, it comes with this little instruction manual on how to do exactly what I just told you. Anchor bolts, and just make sure you have the right clockwise and counterclockwise motors. So pretty cool, guys. I'm going to charge this up. I'm going to get my app downloaded, the TEAL app, get the phone up in front of you and see how the user interface looks on the TEAL application. You need to download the TEAL Flight application. I'm using the Android, and let's see what it tells us we need to do. So we've got camera tilt. Interesting. So at the time, guys, I didn't get a remote controller. As you know, this is just going to be controlled by the phone. They do have an option that has a controller that you can put your phone into, I believe, and link to it for longer range. I'm going to be getting that in the future, hopefully, so I'll be reviewing that with the controller as well. But for now, we're just doing the phone. A little bit of instructions on camera tilt. Use the slider on the right side. Available in 2.5 and 1080 or zoomed 4K modes. So we'll go dismiss, and it looks like you're not connected. Turn on Wi-Fi. So I haven't even read the directions, but it looks pretty self-explanatory. Probably looking for something like the TEAL, and there it is. You see that there? It says TEAL A32625 for me. And I want to punch in a password, so let me figure out what that is. Okay, so maybe something they want to start including in the manual is just how to initially punch in that password, because I'm seeing nothing in the quick start guide here on what that password is. So I need to figure that out, and then we'll continue on. Okay, guys, and it looks like this is how they chose to do it. So maybe they can mention this in the quick start guide, because I don't remember seeing that in here. But if you look on the back of the drone itself, there is a SSID, and then there is a password on this sticker on the drone. So each drone looks like it's going to have its designated password. So you just have to punch in that series of numbers. So maybe make a note on your phone before you put your battery on, because of course when you put your battery on, you're not going to be able to see that. Just before we start this up again, I wanted to just kind of show you guys how to put in this micro SD card, since we haven't done that yet. So we'll open this little package up they give us. Even have a little adapter there. That's great. And all we're doing is opening up this door here, and it looks like not too sure which way it's going to go in. We're going to try with the lettering up first. Push that in. Looks like that was the way, and it's really easy to push in. There's no like crazy finagling with your fingernail like other drones, because it does have a little indentation that will fit your finger in there. So good on you, TEAL. You thought of a lot of things to make it easier for the pilots. Then we just go ahead and push this door closed. It snaps nice and tight. No crazy finagling to pull this thing open. Look at that. It even has a lip to open it up. Sometimes with the other drones like DJI and such, I just can never pop open their doors with my fingernail. So these guys really did think about these things, and look how easy that is just to take out the card and open the door. And I went ahead and copied my password, so we'll paste it in here and just connect. See if we get a connection here. There we go. TEAL connected, no internet. Great. Back to our TEAL app and open this guy up now and see if we can connect. Cool. So connecting to TEAL, let's see what we got. So it says try turning off mobile data. So okay, so a little bit interesting. I guess I'll really quickly just turn off my mobile data there for a second. Try again. So disconnect. And let's reconnect. I know I'm connected through, oh, there we go. So I was having some trouble for some reason when the mobile data was connected. That's weird. So on the main screen, we have a sign in button up there. If you want to sign in, create an account, support button. You can just go ahead and fly since we're connected. You can disconnect, or you can look at, looks like some of these stats. Let's see here. I just pressed it. Looks like it's calculating some stuff. 99%, boom, okay. This is actually what I've been kind of doing in the review. So neat. So it's kind of like has a flight log, kind of like DJI does, instant replay. You can send the log to TEAL for support. Gives you your speed, distance, altitude, and a little graphic of your map there. So that's cool. We can go into our card here. We're going to allow it to check out photos. There's a quick little photo I took while on the table here. And then we can also look at what's we have transferred to the phone. Cool. And we have a little gear here for options on the bottom. Pressing that. And this is where we can also sign in or make a new account. We can name our TEAL there. We can format our card, checking our firmware here. We've also got a calibration. So it says calibrated, but maybe do a calibration before you go fly. Probably do it out in the field away from metal and stuff. I want to use imperial, so this is great. We have a metric or imperial feet or miles or meters and kilometers setting there. So I'm going to go to imperial since I'm in the US. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and fly. Okay, so some information here. We got, hopefully you guys can see that. We got flight bubble. Before you take off, you can set the radius and height limit of the area. So kind of like a geofence. So it's walking us through this tutorial. It's got these little sliders. Very cool. I'm going to swipe next. Next thing we got is one-handed mode. So it looks like you can slide the left slider up and down to adjust your altitude. And then you can pitch, roll, and turn. Actually just pitch forward and back and turn left and right with the thumbstick. So if you did want to fly like that, you could. Magic lift. Place and hold your finger on the controls, then raise or lower your phone to increase your or decrease the altitude of your TEAL. Interesting. So maybe somehow it's tapping into the barometer of your phone to read that data and mimic it while it's flying. You can also do voice control on this guy. So you press and hold the little speaker function, and you can kind of tell it some things and it will listen to your voice. So that's pretty cool. So I'd imagine that's going to be using the speaker of your phone, of course. We've got an emergency disarm. In emergency, press disable, slide this down, and it will just drop out of the air, I guess, if you wanted to do that, or it will immediately cut the motors, say for some reason you need to do that in an emergency. Not show this again, and we'll close. And there we go. Check it out. There's the camera. Awesome. Let's see what the latency is and stuff. So up, down. So a little bit of Wi-Fi latency, it looks like. That looks like a few hundred milliseconds actually. But that's the camera. That's what the camera's doing. It looks like it is actually a little bit stabilized. Let me see if I can kind of roll it left and right. You see how that thing is stabilizing a little bit? Or maybe that's just a lag. But anyway, that's how that looks. It's looking pretty good, pretty clear in the video. Kind of the one-handed operation that we were seeing in that tutorial. We can start and stop video, pictures. There's our altitude, and remember the controls: forward, back, turning head left and right. So that's everything I got on the screen there. And of course there's disable, where you slide that down and it will just kill the propellers wherever it is. I actually like that function. That's a good safety function. Going into the options here, I can change my portrait settings. Magic lift, remember that was the one where you pull the phone up or down. That's off right now. You can turn that on. The flight bubble is currently on, so maybe I'll just leave that on to its maximum for the initial flight, and we'll see how that works. Looks like it's a 90-meter radius and a 90-meter height. You got flight tuning, so we have a beginner mode, intermediate, and advanced. So you can slide that thing up to each mode however you want. We'll just leave it how it was stock for the initial flight, and we'll adjust that through the flight. Telemetry off or on. I'm going to turn it on. Maybe that'll show us some more stuff on our HUD, or interface. And here are our 3 camera resolutions. So we've got 4K, which it is now, 2.5, and 1080. Then we have voice commands: takeoff, land, return, bubble on, bubble off, take photo, start recording, stop recording, disable, disarm, emergency, Houston, we have a problem, and mistakes were made. Okay, those last 2, I have no idea what they do. Let's see if we can click on one. Okay, so no directions on the screen, so it would be nice maybe if we had a little bit of a legend on what all of those commands do. Interestingly, I can't click on traditional or multi-touch right now. Looks like we have to, it just activated when you rotate the phone. So let's try to rotate that. There we go. Okay, so we rotated and we have a little bit more information here. We're in traditional. Right stick is pitch and roll. Left stick is altitude and our kind of our rudder, turning the head, or yaw. So I'm not going to show that again. We're going to X out of that. This is kind of interesting. The camera is still kind of in portrait mode. So I'm not sure if that was supposed to change, but that is a little bit weird. Let's see if we can possibly, there's the telemetry I put on there. That's pretty cool. So you have distance, height, and speed. So I like having that up there. And this is our, look at this. Wow. So up or down. So it looks like what it's doing is it's kind of cropping in the 4K a little bit. And it's actually at least allowing us to move that camera around. On the top of the screen, you see that 4K. So I just pushed the plus zoom in. And look at that. So it gave me a zoomed in, stretched aspect of the 4K footage. And I can still go up and down. So pretty neat. Kind of like Parrot-ish, Parrot Bebop type of drone-ish there. I wanted to go down to the camera, switch to say 1080, exit out of here, and then see how that is kind of different. So now we're 1080, and there we go. So we don't have quite of a stretched of a screen there, but we can still go up and down with our pitching. I would like to be able though to just press on the 1080. You see how I can't do that? I would like to be able to press on that and change the resolution instead of having to go over here into the options every time, find it, go to camera, I'm gonna change to 4K and then go out. So that was the zoomed in 4K, and then this is a zoomed out 4K. So kind of interesting, kind of weird how it's kind of portrait there if we're zoomed out, but that's the way it's working. When I do put my fingers on the screen, you can see the controls do pop up. So, you know, a lot of people aren't going to like that phone control like this. I'm anxious to get that extra remote control. So I don't have the propellers on right now, but I just want to see kind of how this voice goes. So if I just press allow to go into the microphone. So it looks like you have to hold it. So I'm going to press and hold. Take off. Letting off. It's not doing anything. Take off. Take off. Right when I press it, for some reason, it says... oh, there it goes. So it was kind of a delay, but it does say taking off, dismiss. So let's try the disable, sliding down. You saw how that immediately shut off the propellers, so the motor. So that's a good function. At least it's not like a button right in front of you like Parrot has, like just land or emergency. They had that button right there, so if you accidentally hit it one time, it just dies. So at least they did that disable. I like that. Let's try that one more time with a voice. It was a little bit strange initially. Take off. So is there a delay? I don't know. Didn't say it registered anything. So now when I press it, you see how every time it's saying unrecognized voice? So maybe a bug they possibly need to work out. Now it's taking off. So there was quite a bit of a delay there. That was kind of weird. Let's disable this. And that just shuts everything down. What was that, like a 30-second delay? So I didn't really like that. I'm not sure what's up with that, but let's see if we just press take off and start. There we go. So that's more immediate. Disable again. Since, you know, we're kind of confusing it because it doesn't have the propellers on there. So that's basically it, guys. There's our interface. I'm not really sure what happened to the video. The video just kind of froze for some reason. I'm going up and down with the camera, but nothing's happening. Let me go back into here and let's see if I can switch the camera back to 4K. There, that seemed to fix it and reset it. Okay, so not sure what that was, but Again, guys, we will be testing all this stuff in the field in our next flight test, but that was just a quick little unboxing just to show you guys what the TEAL was all about. You know, it looks promising. What's going to be interesting is seeing what this thing can do as far as the video quality, the stability. I know it's not going to fly very far since it is just using the Wi-Fi on the phone right now, until we get that separate controller. We've been waiting for TEAL to come out with this for a long time, and they finally did. So it'll be interesting to see how it works in the flight test, which is coming up next. Anyway, guys, as always, links down in the description for the TEAL and everything I'm using here, and I will see you in the flight test. Thanks for watching.